The other day, one of the traders in my live stream lost four funded accounts. Each of them was over the buffer, and that day alone, up over $1,000 each. And by the end of the day, all gone. What he said afterward really stuck with me. I thought I was past this. And honestly, I've been feeling the same way lately. Like these old habits keep cropping up. Specifically for me, it's been letting FOMO get the better of me, and I've been forcing these subpar trades, not waiting for my valid setups, just kind of impulsively jumping in, which was a huge problem for me before. That's the thing about bad trading habits. You think you've beaten them, then one small slip proves they were just sleeping or waiting to crop back up. You can go weeks doing everything right, then one impulsive click brings back the same old frustration and those same old patterns that you thought you were past. You thought you were better than that behavior. I know that I had a 23-day streak of pretty much perfect discipline, and then I slipped off. And now it seems like I can't string together 3 days of good discipline. I don't think that there's a single bad trading habit that I haven't done in the past and that I haven't had a problem with. These are just a few of them. Overtrading after a loss, moving stops to avoid a loss, impulsively adding on to losers, cutting your winners for 5 points when your strategy dictates that you hold for 30 or more, jumping in outside of my trading window when I'm not supposed to even be looking at the charts, forcing trades on slow days, breaking rules after a winning streak, revenge trading, watching other traders live stream while trading and copying their trades while ignoring my own, hesitating on my A plus setups, then chasing garbage setups after I didn't take the A plus one, and being completely obsessed with the P&L and having a super short term and narrow focus on my trading in general. If any of those sound familiar, you're definitely not alone. The point in this isn't to be perfect, it's to recognize the pattern before it repeats or to find a earlier point to cut it off. So why do these bad habits keep coming back after we felt like we've already dealt with them and we've moved on from them? The habits actually don't vanish. The emotion behind them just seems to quiet down enough until whatever trigger it is for us wakes it back up again. Maybe it's boredom or overconfidence or wanting to make it back. For me lately, I think it's come down to a lack of patience. Watching price move without me thinking I deserve to catch something here or I should have caught something here, or looking back at the chart at the end of the day and thinking this looks like such an easy day to trade. I bet everyone made money today except for me. I'm such a terrible trader. How did I not make money today? Uh, that's when discipline fades and when ego crops up and starts to have more of an influence over your trading, and your trading plan kind of fades away. Someone asked me the other day on the live stream, how do you accept closing for the day with a small loss and moving on? I had to think for a minute, but my answer was you practice it. You practice taking those small losses until they don't seem like such a big deal anymore. Because when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you realize that those little loss days, those are not the ones that ruin you. They don't set you back weeks. But the days where you couldn't accept the small loss, those are the ones that are gonna blow your account, and you're gonna need to reset your confidence, your progress, and your discipline. The same goes for small green days because this comes up as well, where traders have been up on the day. And I know I've definitely had this happen in the past where, I'm up on the day and I just want a little bit more, or it feels like not enough, or I guess I get overconfident or cocky or whatever. And I decide to go for a little bit more and I end up losing. Um, so We also want to watch out and be able to accept green days, small green days, break even days, or like I was just talking about, those days where we are up and then we give back half of our profits. Um, they're not failures, they're part of consistency, and we need to learn to accept them and get good at having them. Real discipline and the thing that we're really striving for, which is consistency, is closing the platform when your rules say that you're done, not when your emotions are yelling at you to keep going, to make more, to make it back right now. I think that one of the best things that we can do to stop ourselves from falling back into these old habits or to stop the cycle, like the destructive cycle and patterns earlier and earlier is to reconnect ourselves with the consequences. Remember how the bad days felt, and use that memory as a circuit breaker when you're feeling like you just want to impulsively click, try to recall the pain of that day where you blew the accounts, where you weren't satisfied with being up $500 and then instead blew an account or, set yourself back a few weeks. Um, I told the person in the in the chat the other day who lost these accounts, and I've had other people come in when they've blown accounts and tell me about it, and I tell them, like, when you're kind of okay, go back, go over everything that happened, write it down, but then also write down how you're feeling. Write down how shitty you feel at the end of the day. Write about the regret. Write about the times in the day when you knew you should have stopped, when you had the thought, I should quit now. Like when you were up $1,000 and you were at the $500 point, you know, I should stop here. I know we all think it. We have that moment, but then we don't. We keep going, and then we reach at some point the F it moment where we accept that I could lose the account today. I'm going to keep going. I want to make it all back, or I'm going to lose it. So write it down, have that in detail, and go over it regularly, I think, to just keep that memory fresh of what you don't want to do. And then rehearse the rule when you're calm. It sounds really silly, but you can say it out loud like an affirmation or a mantra. Uh, for me, it's like valid setups only. If it's not my setup, I don't click. And it's okay to have no trade days. If my setup's there, it's okay not to trade. Reduce the opportunity window. If your valid window is from 9:30 to 11, stop watching after that. The less screen time, the less emotional triggers. Add accountability triggers for yourself. Write it down. Write it in your journal. Go talk to the AI. Tell the AI about it. Or, tell the group. You can come to the live streams. A lot of people do come in every day and tell me how they did. And I think that's great for the accountability for them. And I enjoy hearing how they did as well. I'm also starting the Discord. It should be up, I think, probably tomorrow. So that will be another option for accountability if you want. Another idea is to make breaking the rules expensive for yourself. Have a jar, have cash on hand, and when you break a rule, put $20 cash into the jar. Maybe at the end of the week, you have to give the jar to your spouse or your partner or to somebody else. Maybe that making it expensive when you break a rule, whether you won the trade or not, you still have to put the $20 in the jar. And recognize the relapse pattern. This one's really big. So it usually like you can usually, if you look at it enough and if you've been trading for long enough, you can break it down and see how it typically goes for you. It might be, you have a good streak, your confidence is high, you feel like your discipline is good and you've beat these things, you're really in sync with the market. And then maybe some boredom comes in or some FOMO and you have a little slip. And maybe you kind of get back on track and then you slip again, and then that can turn into a full-on spiral. So you want to be able to spot this before it gets to the slip and definitely before it gets to the spiral. Also, we have to treat it like strength training. As annoying as this is with strength training and trading discipline, discipline is a muscle. It's not a milestone. We don't just get there one day and then we're good and we don't need to work on it or worry about it anymore. It's just like exercise. If you stop working out your muscles, they're gonna revert back to what they were before. It just always keeps coming back to patience in this. I think patience is like a quiet form of confidence in trading. The more you practice it, the more you start to realize how small today or that one little loss really is. One slow or one red day doesn't mean anything when you're thinking in terms of months and not minutes or hours. And if you can walk away on a break even day with your rules intact, that's progress that most traders never make. This is what Degen Rehab is all about: discipline, honesty, structure, and a community that catches you before you fall right back into those bad habits that you're trying so hard to break. If you want to be part of the founding 100 and build this from the ground up, you can sign up at dgenrehab.com. The link is in the description, and it's going to be launching probably tomorrow. It's going to be up by the end of the weekend, so you'll be able to get in there and fill out your information for what your discipline, your rules are, and your discipline goals. We'll track your discipline streaks, support you on the tough days, and celebrate the boring, patient days that actually help to move you forward. And when you hit those moments where you can feel yourself slipping, that hesitation, that FOMO click, that I know I should close this voice. When that comes in, you'll actually be able to jump into a private one-on-one voice call with me, like a quick reset, a grounding conversation, just something to stop you from doing it. Basically, I'm stealing this from the AA sponsor model because so much of addiction mirrors what we go through in trading. And I think just having a person there that you can talk to and can talk you out of doing the thing can actually stop you from blowing your account. Okay, so I'll just show you the trade that I took here today. I contemplated not trading today because my last few Fridays have been pretty bad and I felt like I ruined my week with them. I definitely did ruin my week with them. And I didn't want to have another weekend where I was going in feeling like I failed on my trading. But I thought I'm going to watch it. I don't want to be scared to trade on Fridays. So I did trade today. All right, so this was the New York Open here. I watched price drop down. Now, technically, this here would have been my A short setup. I think it was this. Yeah, this one. It would have came here if this one triggered, but I decided not to take it. I wanted to wait for a deeper pullback on this. So I just ignored everything that was going on here. My ideal entry was for it to come up to the opening range low here and reject, which happened actually perfectly. So it came up here, it rejected. I got in short there. I think my stop was about, yeah, so just over 20 points. What happened here, my take profit was down here, I believe, around 68. So it should have been close to a 40 point profit target, which is where I had it. But then what happened, I was in the trade, I watched it. I should have just closed it up and left. But then at 10 a.m. New York time, it started going crazy. And then I realized, oh shit, I forgot about the news. So there was, I think, the University of Michigan thing. And it started acting erratically. And I just went, nope, I don't want to be in on, I don't know how big this news is going to be, and I don't want to get stopped out by a few ticks and take a loss on this because of the news. So I just jumped out, took the 17 points or 18 points, whatever it was. I made $68. So not what I should have made, but it's okay. I did not take another trade. I did watch because, so this is like my ideal setup, what I would call my B short setup, where price comes, it tests the opening range low. If you're looking for shorts, it rejects there, makes a new low here, comes back up again, and rejects a second time. So this would have been a great trade to take. I saw it, but I didn't want to break my one trade a day rule because I just didn't want to break the rule. And I was like, you know what, $68 on a Friday, fine. I'll take it. Obviously, it went down a lot. I could have held that. The first trade that I got in would have been fine to hold. It wouldn't have been stopped out at any point. So, I mean, I could have got a few hundred points instead of 17, but I'm just choosing to be happy with not losing on a Friday and waiting for a valid setup, waiting for a good setup, and waiting for that deeper pullback up to the opening range, because lately I've just been struggling with waiting for the good setup. So next time maybe I'll be paying more attention and I won't get in right before the news. I don't know. So that's the trade I took today. I will be back here for a live stream on Monday. So I hope you all have a great weekend. And if you want in on the Discord, it is going to be up very soon. You can go to the website and you just put in your email, and then you'll be like the first to know as soon as it's up. All right. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching.